am Michelle, and I do lots of things. But mostly, I help people succeed in their pet care business or career. Whether you are in the beginning stages of planning your business, looking at scaling up your already successful business, or are a professional groomer or dog handler in the boarding and daycare space, I can help you get even better. I do love an adventure, so let's get cracking. Good morning, friends. I am here in my woods, just cleaning up some trail. We got some debris and stuff, and there's a lot of leaves, and so I'm trying to clean those off of my trail and such. And I got to thinking about goals, and I wanted to visit with you guys this morning about goals. Goals are accomplishments at the end of a time period, and they're very important. Can you imagine, since you're my fellow dog people, can you imagine going to a herding trial or an agility contest and not having any end accomplishment in mind for that? Not having a goal set for that? That would be just like utter chaos, and really, what's the point, right? If you're not going to have something to work for, what's the point? So I kind of wanted to talk about that. Goals are just that, accomplishments set at the end of a time frame. They help us to get where we're going. If we don't know what the end result is going to be, then we are just kind of out there chaotic, just every day doing our thing, possibly growing, but more than likely not. I have worked with businesses in the past that don't set goals. They never set goals until I started working with them, of course. And then I've worked with some that set firm goals and review them and stick to it. And the difference in those businesses is night and day. They're very, very important for the success of your business and of your life too, really. We should always set goals for different things in life. But I want to also talk about how to set goals. When I start setting goals, I set from the end in mind. If you saw my other video on vision casting, that's what I explained the end in mind. What does it look like when you want to exit? What does your exit strategy look like? So goals can be done the same way. In fact, you can take those visions, if you've done that vision work, you can take those visions and you can form your goals out of those visions. At your exit strategy, what do you want your business to look like? What are those goals? How much revenue do you want to hit? How much profit do you want out of that revenue? How many dogs is it going to take to get to that? Our goals help us determine our pathway to that end result. So I like to think about goals when I'm goal setting. I like to think of them as long-term and shorter term, and then the short term. So you can start thinking about your goal at the end of whatever time period it is that you put on your exit strategy. If you want to exit in 25 years, if you want to exit in 15 years, whatever that is, that's where you start. And you put those goals, you start setting those goals there. And then start backing up in time frame increments. 10 years. What is my goal for this business in 10 years? And then you look at 5 years, and then possibly 3 years. And then I like to jump from 3 years to 1 year. What is my goal in this 1 year at this time next year, what is my goal? How many dogs do I want? How much profit do I want? That kind of thing. And then that way I can figure it out from there how to get there. Now, I also like to do quarter goals, and I have a worksheet that I use that helps me decide and list the things that need to be done and such. And also on this worksheet, there's weekly goals. So I know what next week looks like. And I usually sit down on Fridays and map out next week. Look at all my appointments that I've got, look at the things that I need to do to get to next Friday and accomplish those goals that I have set for myself for next Friday. So that is kind of the how to set them. But also you need a very quiet place, I guess, to do this goal setting. When I first started the business, I could actually sit in my office or in my groom shop, either one, wherever I was, and between clients, I could do some goal setting and think about where I wanted it to go and such. Then as the business grew, I had to do it after hours because I got so busy during the day. I had to wait till after hours to be able to find the quiet to be able to do that. And then as I continued to grow, I could step out of the business and find a coffee shop or restaurant, or sometimes I would go out to the lake here in our town and sit at a picnic table and do some goal setting that way. Now I actually have to schedule time off and go out of town and find some quiet peace where I can think, consult with God, and do my goal setting that way. You will find however is easiest for you, whatever works for you, as you go and as you grow. I always also, when I am goal setting, I try to break it up in different categories, and this is going to get a little bit off the business, but if you're like me, our businesses are part of who we are. So it's really hard to separate our personal life from our business life, because we love our dogs so much and we love our clients so much that we are just all in our whole life with our businesses. And I believe that that's fine. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Now, you do need to, schedule time with family and take some breaks and some time outs and stuff to rejuvenate, recoup, that kind of thing. But I like to break my goal setting up in 3 different categories. And first I start with my spiritual goals. What are my spiritual goals? And then I ask myself, what are my business goals? What are my goals for this business? And then I ask myself, what are my family goals? And each one of those things I try to look at and figure out, okay, if my goal for my spiritual is to get closer to God, which should be everybody's goal, but if my goal is to get closer to God, I write that down. And then I write down, what is it going to take? What are the actions that I need to do to get to that? I do that for every one of them. My spiritual, my business, and my family goals. And that seems to help me stay focused and stay on task with those. When you start looking at your long-term goal, maybe your exit strategy goal, I want to encourage you not to get discouraged in this. Those numbers might look big, but you can get there. I know you can. Where they say, how do you eat an elephant? one bite at a time. That's how you do this. So our goals will help us get to where we want to be in the future. That is why they are so important to do. Most important thing is to seek higher counsel, whatever your higher counsel is. Seek that. Make sure you are on the same page with your spiritual counselor. Well, I guess I better get back to work here. I got a lot to do. So just remember, keep momentum, and I'm here to help.